Sonic the Hedgehog synopsis. After discovering a small, blue, fast hedgehog, a small town police officer must help it defeat an evil genius who wants to do experiments on it. Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review for Sonic the Hedgehog. It's directed by Jeff Fowler. It's rated PG and the duration is 1 hour and 39 minutes. It's an action, adventure, family movie. It came out on Valentine's Day 2020. So before I get started, guys, I just want to tell you a little tiny bit, well, not a little tiny bit, but some really interesting trivia about this movie. For those of you who don't know anything about this movie, when the first teaser poster was released, Mayote Washima, the character's original designer, and Eugene Acker, former head of Sonic team, said they disliked Sonic's appearance. The first trailer caused a massive fan backlash. On May 2nd, 2019, director Jeff Fowler announced on Twitter that Sonic's design was going to be altered to make the character the best it could possibly be. The movie's scheduled release was Thanksgiving weekend 2019 to Valentine's Day 2020. When the new trailer and poster were released on November 2012, 2019, fans and viewers alike praised Sonic's new look. There you go, guys. There's a really interesting piece of trivia for you about this movie. So I tell you what, guys, I have to say personally, in my personal appearance, the first thing that I saw on Sonic when they first released that teaser trailer, I really liked it, and I did not know what they were going on about. Seriously. When I saw it, I was like, what? Like, hang on, what? And then I saw the new trailer and I was like, oh, my bad. I'll shut up. Sorry. It was that bad. It was really, man, was it bad. Hello, darkness, my old friend. No, I didn't forget. The cast of the movie is Ben Schwartz, who plays the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog, Tika Sumpter, who plays Maddie Wachowski, James Marsden, who plays Tom Wachowski, and the brilliant, mind-blowingly, hilariously awesome Jim Carrey, who plays Ivan, Dr. Robotnik. One of the things I have to say about the trailer for this movie is at the end, now there's two post-credit scenes to this movie, there's two. At the end of the movie, at the end of the trailer, you see an image of Dr. Robotnik as the full figured out Dr. Robotnik. But in the movie, this is no spoiler, it is actually in line with the trailer. So, which surprised me. I really expected it to not be like that, and for it to be, for Jim Carrey's character to become transformed more in the physicality of the role of him. But you'll see when you see the film, if you have seen it already, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who haven't, you'll see what I mean. It's really well done. I actually really like the way they did it, because it actually makes sense to the actual character in terms of the Sega Master System game. Speaking of the Sega Master System game, this happened twice, and I don't know if it was a digital error on the filmmakers, on the projectionist's behalf, or if it happened to you guys. And if it did happen to you guys, let me know in the comment section below. When the first Paramount picture, when it first starts out and you see the gold rings and they're flying towards you instead of the stars, which I thought was an absolutely brilliant way to start this movie. I was really impressed with that. I just thought that was so classic, clever. I loved it so much. When they come towards you, when they're first coming towards you, like in line, they're about to line up and go over the thing, there was a random, the audio was playing, but there was like a blackout glitch in the theater, and that actually happened both times. That was all that happened, but that actual blackout happened both times. If it happened to you guys, leave your comments in the comment section below. Or did the rings just continually flow? Was it just continual without blackout? I'm interested to know if that was just a filmmaking mistake, or I don't know. I'm really interested to know. But I thought the rings, when they were gliding over like the stars do, over the Paramount picture, loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I thought that was classic. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that element of the movie. The special, just to open it, it was awesome. So, I gotta tell you something really cool. At the very beginning of the movie, Tom Wachowski and Maddie Wachowski, the husband and wife, are watching a movie. They're watching a movie, and Sonic pops his head up, and Sonic is watching them watch the movie. Okay? No spoilers, just letting you know. That first movie that comes up on the screen and they do a zoom in shot so you know exactly what they're watching is my personal top 5 favorite movie of all time. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but when you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who have seen the movie, that movie is on my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Love that movie passionately. Okay guys, I got to tell you something. I'm personally a massive fan of Jim Carrey, and I mean a unapologetic, huge fan of Jim Carrey. I have been following his comedic career since I was a young man. Like seriously, I kid you not, in any way, shape or form. His role in this movie as Dr. Ivan Robotnik, I loved what he brought to that character. The biggest reason why is because I felt that they let Jim Carrey be Jim Carrey. They just let him improvise as much as possible because that's who he is. He's just that good at being what he is. I ate it up. I ate his character up so much. Seriously, so many lines that he said in this movie, and in a minute I'll get to something that it's actually in the trivia that I'm going to tell you guys about what he said in this movie. I just was like, it was just so funny. Just so little, kind of a little bit dad jokes, I have to say. Kind of a few of them a little bit dad jokes. But I loved it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I honestly cannot tell you enough how much Jim Carrey, the way he was in all his movies as in his younger time, just rethinking about it, it's like, man, he's just finesse. His mannerism of physicality has always blown my mind, and I just appreciated it so much as a young man. I really don't feel, unfortunately, for the jokes specifically at the start of this movie with James Marsden's character, Tom, worked in this movie. Unfortunately. Both times I watched it, there wasn't, in saying that, there wasn't that many people in the cinema, I will say that. But in saying that, seriously guys, no one laughed. Seriously, I was actually quite disappointed in that. There's elements to this movie that the jokes just don't land and they're not funny, but you need to understand this. You need to seriously understand this. Specifically in comedy, it's literally one of the hardest things to bring to a movie. It really is. It's purely because of timing. It really is. Comedy and film, honestly, are all subjective. I mean, really, comedy is subjective. Some people laugh at the most crudest jokes and they think it's the funniest thing in the world, and other people think that's not funny at all. Like, you're just swearing the entire time. Do you know what I mean? And other people find really dry humor absolutely hilarious. You know what I mean? It's all subjective, guys, and that's why all film is subjective. Before I go any further, guys, in my personal humble opinion, I ask the question to you guys, and I tell you this in my opinion. does this film have what I believe film needs, movies need in the core DNA of its being, the essential watching, viewing element of it, listening to it element, rewatchability. Does Sonic the Hedgehog have rewatchability? And I say yes, but I also say no. Now, I will need to explain myself. The reason why I say no is purely because of the fact that it's a fun family movie, but it doesn't have a lot of those gripping, sad elements that some movies need to make you really want to go back and be like, wow, that was deep. The reason why I say yes is purely because of Jim Carrey, in my personal humble opinion. Truly, he owned this role. I mean, oh my gosh, he owned this role. Jim Carrey is just one of those people in my opinion, in movies that you can't not watch him because he's so full of energy, life, charisma, and he's just so funny and fun to watch. His comical elements in this movie was incredible. Okay, I've got to tell you something. My first viewing of this movie, I actually was forcing myself to stay awake. Seriously. So I watched this movie twice. For those of you who have seen my thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog, I've seen this movie twice. The first time I was literally, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but I was prying my eyes open, literally. Now, I'm going to tell you something really sad. Yes, it happened the second time. It really did. There's just a lot of stuff in this movie that doesn't work, and I'm not going to hate on this film. I'm really not. I'm actually going to applaud you to go and watch it, because the parts that I saw the second time, they're really fun and entertaining. There's just, as I said, the comical elements just weren't funny enough for me to be like, oh wow, that's funny. Like it just dropped the ball a lot. And so the first time I watched it, I was really trying to stay awake. I was falling asleep hardcore. And the second time, I stayed awake a lot more, but I also wasn't feeling well. And so that kind of made me a lot more tired. So in my personal opinion, guys, I would say no, but I think kids will love it, because both times actually, I took two younger gentlemen. First time was a younger gentleman, the second time was a younger gentleman, and they both loved it. Literally, they were just getting all excited. It's a family movie, guys. It's a family, fun, friendly movie. I actually really loved how animated and fun Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. I loved it. I really, truly, I got a lot out of it. I really genuinely did, guys. I thought that his character specifically was really just Sonic himself. I found it so much fun. And for those of you who've been following me for any period of time, there are 2 post-credit scenes to this movie, and it's not like the credits roll and then it's sort of the movie ends, does a little thing, and then a scene plays, and then again, and then another scene plays. So it's not like, you know, the Marvel movies where you got to sit there through the whole credits and then there's a little 2-second thing. But Ben Schwartz, I really valued his Sonic voice. I loved everything about him. I really did. I really did. And I tell you, the second post-credit scene, most Sonic the Hedgehog fans or Sega fans of the game are going to love that element of the movie really well. So for those of you who've been following me for any period of time at all, you guys know that I love giving you guys trivia, because in my personal opinion, trivia is trivia, guys. Like, come on. It's just the icing on a cake. Yum. And that's what I give you guys. So guess what time it is? Did you guys guess? Trivia time! The villain was known as Dr. Robotnik. outside Japan prior to Sonic Adventure 1998. Sonic the Hedgehog called him Eggman, like as more of an insult than them calling him Dr. Eggman. Next piece of trivia is, guys, the movie will be action focused. There were several script rewrites due to the original rewrite of the movie having a more comical focus. Next piece of trivia is, guys, one of the co-writers for the film wants to go for a PG-13 rating. However, it got a PG rating, making it family friendly, which in my personal opinion, guys, was actually a really, really good idea. Next piece of trivia is, guys, a scene of Eggman owning a coffee machine labeled Mean Bean Machine was actually cut before filming was commenced. Next piece and final piece of trivia, guys, and I'll leave you with this one, is Sonic in this film has new shoes and a furrier appearance as an athlete's body that actually suits a runner. According to producer Tim Miller, fur is an essential part of integrating Sonic into the real world as a real character. Guys, just because you've stuck around for this long, I'm actually going to give you a bonus piece of trivia. I know, you guys are so welcome, you so deserve it because you guys are absolutely amazing, and it actually has to do with something that I said earlier on in the start of this movie review. The line in the movie that Jim Carrey, aka Dr. Ivan Robotnik, says, "I love the way you make them," was actually Jim Carrey's assistant Nicole. It was her line to improv for Jim Carrey to say, and he's like, "Nope, I absolutely love it," and it was brilliant, and it made it into the final movie. How good is that? That line cracked me up so bad just because of the way he says it. He actually yells it at him. It's so funny. Guys, if you haven't already, please go ahead, please subscribe, please leave a like, please leave a thumbs up. You know the drill. If you haven't already, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're on a mobile device, and while you're at it, click that bell for notifications. That way we're going to drop anything, it'll be yours straight away. You guys are amazing. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on if you've seen this movie or not. What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you fall asleep? Did you fall asleep? I know somebody fell asleep. Guys, don't forget who's bringing this movie review for Sonic the Hedgehog to you. This is Superman Steve, guys. Flying out!